Well, I'm originally from North Dakota, and you know, I grew up in a home that was broken and spent my teenage years in a foster home away from my family, feeling really disconnected. One of the greatest connections I ever got in my life was joining the United States Marine Corps when I was 17 and feeling I was really part of something. But even though I joined the Marines and got married and got shipped to Okinawa, there was still an emptiness in my life, and it was while I was stationed in Okinawa that I came to know Jesus Christ as my Savior back in 1979. And I just couldn't believe how I had lived 20 years of my life and nobody had ever sat me down and talked to me about Jesus personally, other than probably the guy that spent time witnessing to me. And if this was such a great story, how could people not tell others? And there's just been a burning desire ever since I came to know Christ as my Savior to tell others, to show others about Jesus Christ.
Feeling God call him to full-time ministry, Jeff left the Marines, went to seminary, and served at several churches before starting New Beginnings Christian Fellowship in 2002 in Kokomo, Indiana.
We really went after trying to see new people come to Christ. We started a discipleship process in our church that was really built on small group discipleship, but really investing in people's lives.
After that discipleship class, though, Jeff says, well, you need to teach other people too. You can't just keep this to yourself. And what a life-changing experience to try to facilitate something, and especially being new into the faith. And then seeing other people grow as you're doing it, it's really exhilarating.
The church continued to grow in numbers and maturity, but in January of 2005, the Russells began to experience a chain of personal tragedies with the death of their 2 sons, a grandchild, and Jeff's diagnosis of cancer.
And she said, why is God letting this happen to us? It's like wave after wave has been hitting us. And I just held Dawn in my arms and I said, I don't know. But I said, honey, I'm making a choice right now, and I'm choosing to believe that God is ultimately good. And that's all I have to hold on to. God has shown up all along the way, okay? And we found that weeping, may go for a night, but joy does come in the morning. And there's going to come a morning one day where all this tough stuff that we've been through, we're going to see the reward, and we're going to hold our boys in arms. We're going to thank God for saving our souls and bringing us home to heaven. We live in that reality. And probably the one thing I can say that I guess the people of New Beginnings, the prayer of my heart has been that they just don't hear a sermon on a Sunday, that they actually see one being lived out by Jeff and Donna Russell, their pastoral family. God has kept our church together. God has kept our family together. And we're connected with a larger church family. I'm talking about pastors who showed up down here to help out.
You know how Paul would send people to minister to the different, communities and everything, and that's what's been done for us, and it's like we're like one of the original churches. I mean,
and that's where the NAB comes in, is, when we were hurting, when we needed something, we prayed for it. The NAB was right there saying, we have this, or we can do this, or what do you need? When we didn't know what to pray for, they told us what they had. Tim Blackburn, directed us through the startup. And that foundational structure, I think, had a great deal to do with us coming together so strongly and holding on so tightly.
When Jeff wasn't able to be up there and preaching, they were here. They didn't stop coming to church because he wasn't here. They were here every Sunday.
You think about a church 5 years old that's gone through everything that this church has gone through, and not only have we survived it, we've thrived.
With his absence, it allowed us as leaders in the church to really become more refined and to take on more responsibility, so that when he did get better and he came back, that we could allow him to be the pastor of the church and to do the things that he's good at.
He would rather be out talking to people and communicating, and that's his thing, and that's his niche. It's not being in the office preparing anything, it's being out and really just ministering to people and trying to be a friend.
After 2 years of battling stage 4 cancer, Jeff is cancer-free and back leading New Beginnings Christian Fellowship with the vision God has for them.
God has called us to multiply what we're doing. We are a vital church if we're planting another congregation. And we're going to do that from grassroots discipleship, where we go out and actually go soul winning and reach people for Christ and bring them in and help disciples become disciple makers and live to be that. And it's a pretty simple little concept, and yet it's very profound, but it's worth giving your life to.
The 2008 Fall Discipleship Offering, helping churches like yours make disciples for Jesus Christ.